Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, hello everyone, and welcome back to me being live. The beginning where I don't know if anyone's in the chat or not because there's like a 12-second delay. So we'll see if anyone shows up, and then you'll see this bit at the beginning of all of the VODs. It's better than me just standing there looking at nothing. Hello to you, Darkstar Player 6315. It's me and you, alone right now, chatting. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Hello, Jay. Hello, Will It Rain? I like that name. The second I finished the reaction, that's why I like to wait a little bit. Used to like do them right as the reaction ended, but now I'm like, not everyone catches it right away. So let me hop in a little later. My video feels like it's been like laggy recently, even just in OBS. Oh, you know what it might be? I have way too many apps open, probably. I gotta turn off Google Chrome if I want OBS to work better. What a ridiculous world we live in. I'm well. I hope you are well too. I am so well. The glory of setting up notifications. Truly. And thank you for saying that. Have you thought about reacting to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? It's a live action show, which gives me pause. It's also 40 minutes long an episode and long as fuck. So it would take me like a year to do. So not really, but again, everything's on the table. I got big plans, my friends. I got plans that would drive you insane. I hope to get to a point where I am posting 4 to 5 times a week. That is like the ultimate dream. Even one of those would be a Patreon specific weekly show. And so that, maybe. May everyone have a fantastic and blessed day. May you have a fantastic and blessed day. Do. After Teen Titans Young Justice next. That is the most, like, clear thing to do. That or Teen Titans Go. But I don't think Teen Titans Go's got the juice. I don't know how I would react to Teen Titans Go, to be fully honest with you. Guys, you gotta comment things. Otherwise, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna talk about? I have nothing to say here now. Here, you guys want to do a little unboxing with me? That's something we could do. Hold on. Here. It's not a true unboxing because I already opened the box, but I received this a while ago, right? It's from Hanover Agency from the Wonder Man show. Now, I put it all into this baggie, which is one of the things they gave me. It says, "Have I sent you Wonder Man?" Which kind of confuses me because the whole point of this seems to be like the agent is trying to set you up with a Wonder Man thing, you know? It's like, oh, go audition for Wonder Man. When if you've seen the show, the whole like inciting incident of the show is that his agent does not send him Wonder Man. So like no one ever says this in the show, but you know what? Whatever. First thing we got, sick as hell, already part of the background, is a new clapper. It says Wonder Man by Von Kovac. Date 1/27/26. Oh, that's the day it came out. So that's fun. In addition, I got a little Wonder Man trading card, as if it was a real movie that existed. Okay, so this is the OG Wonder Man from the show, and then this is the new version with Simon Williams. I will say, it's hard to see in the trading card, but especially in the show, I think this might be AI. Like, this guy specifically looks so AI, it's insane. But I don't want to judge. Then we got this thing. I'm not really a hat guy, as you can tell, but first of all, it's way too small. Hold on. Let's see if we can... I got a gigantic head. You know what they say about guys with big heads. They're rude. According to Marvel, they're evil. Alright. I have way too much hair. Okay. So this is me in a hat. Rare sight. And says directed by Von Kovac. I actually like that, the fact that it says that a lot. I don't know many instances I would wear a hat. What if I did this? What's it got on the back there? Wonder Man. And then we got Ugh. Cool little book. This call sheet. Just a journal, not an actual call sheet. And it is a notable difference because then we have several things that are real. This is a little thing that they send you, fun inside baseball thing. Every time you get a package as like an influencer, they send you like instructions. I usually ignore them, but we got headshot. Oh shit! I never actually knew there was something on the back. On the back it says Simon Williams in consideration for Wonder Man. Simon Williams. We got another headshot. Ben Kingsley, Trevor Slattery in consideration for Barnaby. And then an annotated script from the show that I've already kind of damaged, which is like weird. Like this is definitely the most valuable thing in that whole thing. So I should probably like, I don't know, laminate it instead of just sticking it in a bag where it's already gotten crumpled. But what's fun about this is there's a note up here that says size matters, and is drawn to a note about his feet, which is a dick joke. Now, nothing, I can't stress this enough. Nothing else on this sheet is a joke. It is just the size matters thing. Now, also, what's fun to me is this is clearly printed out, right? They sent this to everybody, I'm sure. This is a real Post-it note with real handwriting. So some poor intern had to like write this out 100 times or something, probably, to stick it on a Post-it note. Oh yeah, and then these two were set aside because I'm already using them. We've got Wonder Man cup and these. Now, I already have one pair of red glasses. The Maltesers broke, sadly. Old fans of mine will remember. But I got these new ones now. I have my circular ones. So, Skit's about to go crazy again. We got two different glasses for Scott and Daredevil. And in fact, I'll let you guys pick right now. I don't know where my circular ones are. But this is Scott, right? This is more Scott than Daredevil, I think. So this will be my Scott glasses. Rip to Wonder Man. I don't think I'm going to be doing a Wonder Man skit anytime soon. But, yeah, this is one of the best and nicest promotion boxes I've ever received. And there you go. That was me talking a lot without looking at the comments because no one was commenting half an hour ago when I started. Will we ever do an IRS skit again? Probably not, to be fully honest. I wrapped that series up and I was done. Are your glasses prescription? These ones? Yes. Those ones? No. Matt definitely has the circular ones as well. Yeah, exactly. Would you ever consider bringing back the meme on the IRS series? No, probably not. It means a lot to me that people like it. I feel like there's no more jokes to be made in that setting. I don't think it's mentioned in the show, but supplementary calls the city of Titans live in Jump City. I know that now, and I've now used it in the time since learning this from posting it on Patreon, that I used it in a trivia show I went on, which will be up, I'm sure, on a different channel sometime soon. But I got a trivia point with that. What is the poster of the Bollywood film Conte in the background? I got no posters of Bollywood film in the background. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Tell me which poster you mean, and then I'll tell you what it actually is. There's 93 people in here. You look really good in your glasses. I like those. I love frames like those. Thank you. Thank you. It's funny, thanks to Reacts, I have to actually film now with my glasses, which I used to never do. And so I've gone from people being like, wow, you wear glasses, to people now being like, oh, I've never seen you without your glasses, which is kind of crazy to me. If you were in charge of the mutant saga, who would be the first big bad you would pick for them? Someone chiller. Someone human, probably. I feel like that's what they're trying to do with damage control. But someone chiller, someone human. Maybe like a striker. Maybe not really a Trask. Maybe Stephen Lang. Something like that. I'm good if we never see Bolivar Trask again, personally. There are other Sentinel bad guys. Yeah. So, someone chiller, and then I would go up to Sinister, and then I would go past Sinister to Apocalypse. That would be my system. Every time I'm bored, I watch IRS skits. Well, thank you very much. That actually means the world to me. I'm happy that people enjoy them that much. Do you plan on bringing back the Addams Family and Gotham series? Again, probably no, just because I ran out of things to say about that 3 years ago. The thing with the Addams and Gotham is there was a brief period in my life where I was hyperfixated on the Addams Family and knew a lot about the Bat Family. It's not the case anymore. I've forgotten more about the Addams Family than I think most people would ever know. So I don't know much more jokes I can make about it. I usually watch from my TV and can't chat from there. I'm sure you've told people, but what is the tattoo on your right inner forearm? I got this when I was 18 years old. It's flipped in the thing, but it's DOCC. It stands for driven, obedient, confident, and compassionate. And it was supposed to be like the 4 pillars that make a good person. If I could go back in time, I probably would not get it as big. I still would get it, just not as big, because it does. People think it means people think it is something, and it's not something. This is like the worst shirt to show this in, so I can't show you. But I do have another tattoo right here that is flaming dice that I got at a launch party for the trailer for The Bike Riders, a movie that did not stay in public consciousness as long as I expected. But they were giving out free real tattoos. And I was like, I gotta get a free real tattoo. And I made the dude who was doing it promise me that in the movie, it wasn't like the sigil of like the Nazi bike gang or something. And he was like, nah, you're good. And so I got the flaming dice because I figured it's not a card, but like if I recolored the flames purple eventually, it could be like a Gambit thing. And it was a fun, unique experience. I also spent all of one party once waiting, trying to get a free tattoo at the Umbrella Academy after party of the Umbrella on this shoulder. But I didn't get to it because not Diego Luna, the guy who plays Diego in the show, whoever that is, was like, yo, free tattoos, and then had them do like a genuine, like huge tattoo. Like it was really like little like, doo-doo-doo. But he was like, nah, I'm like the star of the show and I want this tattoo for a while. Could you just do this for me? And the artist was like, fuck yeah. And so that took like half an hour, which like full reign. I would do the same if I was the star of a TV show and they were giving out tattoos. That's so funny. My sister made a vampire comic because she watched The Bike Riders. Hey, some impact of The Bike Riders. I made pizza. It was really nice, honestly. Hey, that's great. I'm so happy for you and your pizza. Gambit should charge more dice. Gambit should charge some dice, right? Like I feel like that's like the image of Gambit like doing the craps like dice roll and like Rogue standing next to him and everything. That seems like so obvious. I'm surprised that's not a cover already. What is your favorite and least favorite episode of the season, Teen Titans? That's a good question. This is my season wrap episode. So thank you for remembering. That's a really good question. My favorite episode, it's probably the Mad Mod episode, which is like crazy, just for sheer joy. I think the best episode is Switched, where Raven and Starfire switch minds. I think that's like when I was like, oh no, this show's got juice. This show has got like actual something to say and a really good hold of these characters. But for pure joy, Mad Mod is a hell of a time. Least favorite is probably the one against the Hive. That is like the first they ever aired in America. Bad. That left a real sour taste in my mouth. I was like, oh, fuck. I'm going to not be able to react to Teen Titans going forward. Do you really don't know which Robin is? I know exactly which Robin is. It's Tim. But then it just got progressively better and better. And so then I was way more on board. Mad Mod is awesome. I love when animals get to flex some weird animation shit. That's the thing. Mad Mod's episode is just a bunch of optical illusions with a flimsy excuse for their existence. And honestly, that's all I want. I don't need a ton of excuse. Just like give me the weird shit. Not obedient. Did I say obedient? Open. Not obedient. What is it? Driven, open, confident, compassion. Confidence. I forget what it is exactly, but it's not obedience. It's openness. Honestly, the main thing that upset me in the first episode was that Moid is blue genuinely made me ill. Was the Moid is blue? What does that mean? Moid. It's actually a bunch of tiny robins and a robin robot. It's Tim Drake. Let's not be ridiculous. Larry will flip your Robin theory on its head. I don't think it will. I don't think he will. You did say obedient. Well, that's my bad. That's my apologies. I think I may have said dominant too. We got to the wrong acronym. But driven, open, confident, compassionate. That's what it is. Mold, Nikhil. Mold. What mold? What mold is blue? That didn't help me at all. You did say obedient, but open makes way more sense. That it does. But he said mold. Guys, I don't know what you're talking about. What about mold? Why are we chatting about mold right now? Avoid the mold? What are you doing? Favorite episode. My favorite episode is the Mad Mod episode. Oh, he's so ADHD. Yeah, I got problems. The mold is in the fridge when Starfire finds it. Oh! That gunk. Yes. That is terrible. That is very gross. I didn't like that at all. See, this is what I'm saying. That episode did not stick with me at all. I had to do a whole bit on mold in a fridge. I was really grasping at straws. For my first try of doing Teen Titans reactions, I was like, fuck, this is not going to work. But, yeah. Then it got better. And that's what matters. All the Raven episodes are really good, to be fair. Like, the Raven Mindscape episode's also up there. I'll probably do a tier list again at the end. It will be a struggle to see if I remember them all. But I will probably do a tier list again like I did with X-Men Evolution. Hi, will you react to Young Justice? Maybe. It only stuck with me because Jinx is my favorite antagonist. I do like the Hive. That's what's funny. Like, I like Gizmo and Jinx a lot. The other one doesn't matter. And I know his name's not Grizzly, but I purposely called him Grizzly the entire episode, and I don't remember what it actually is. It's like mammal or something, right? Mammoth? I thought the Teen Titans Robin was Dick Grayson. A lot of people think that. He hasn't met Tara yet. No, I've not met Tara. Now, I do have a basic understanding of Judas Contract, and I watched the animated movie, so I know of Tara. And I'm not excited, but it is what it is. If you had Beast Boy's powers, what animal would you resort to most? See, I do admire about Beast Boy is that he is like... He uses a lot of animals. I feel like I'd have like 3 that would I go to. I'd have one small one that would be like a ferret. One like medium-sized one that'd be like a badger and maybe an anteater, and then one big one that would be a bear. Just saw Gizmo in the Kill the Justice League. I was surprised to see he's just always that high and he had a full beard. That's fascinating. He's always a baby? Robin is clearly Alfred Pennyworth. Let's not get ridiculous. Do you know how Tara was apparently based off of Kitty Pryde? That makes a lot of sense. Honestly, the Teen Titans Show adaptation is probably the best version, including the comics. Now, I know a lot of people in my chat are pretty big fans of a certain run of Teen Titans that will probably disagree with you, but I haven't read it. I think it should be Juice Contract before next season. See, I've already started filming the next season. That's how this works. And I meant to do that, but I forgot. I have it. It's over there. You can kind of see it. It's right next to that Gambit thing. That's Judas Contract right there. You could cosplay Beast Boy super easy. I'm sorry. Am I green? It's not super easy if I have to paint myself green. Do. Tim is Red Robin. Exactly. Do. I think you'll be all right, Nikhil. Not trying to spoil, but I'm fairly certain that Teen Titans handles Tara pretty well. Okay. I imagine they're not going to do the fucking Deathstroke aspect of the character in a kid's show. And that's what matters to me. No. It's crazy Young Justice had the rest of the Titans bug. Had the rest of the Titans bug? What does that mean? Whoa. Have you watched Smallville? No. You could be green. Maybe we're all just colorblind in a weird way. If no one perceives me as green, I'm not green. I didn't know anything about Teen Titans before the show, so the Terra stuff was the biggest plot twist of my little girl mind. That makes sense. It is like a famously huge plot twist. It's a huge plot twist in the book as well. People were going nuts for that. X-Men tried to do it right on the heels with Mondo. Didn't work as well. What's up, Nikhil? Not much, dude. Just say you're green. I'm not green. Not that I remember, but that is all I will say on Terra and Deathstroke. Noise. Your skeleton could be green or black or pink. No, it's white. I'm fairly certain. To be fair, I guess I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure. Don't worry, Nikhil. I'll perceive you as green. No, I'm setting a strong limit here. I'm not green. Mondo was a traitor? Question mark? Yes. In a retcon that truly made no sense, and when I got to it, I thought maybe I'd skipped a couple of comics, and I had not. Mondo went from being a chill island guy to a fake boy that was the plant of Black Tom Cassidy. Is stupid. And then eventually they retcon again the real Mondo in, which is good, but yeah, no. Oh, red would work too. Well, why didn't you just say that? I am red. This sounds like something a green person would say. I'm going to cry on camera. What's wrong with being green? It's famously hard to be green. It's famously not easy being green. I wasn't going to watch Wonder Man, and then Usa Dorman was in it, and literally I binged all of it this morning. That's what you gotta do. Boo, I love Mondo. Screw that, truly. Which Titan would you cosplay? Well, Tim Drake's the easiest one, obviously. Raven and Starfire, I don't think I've got the equipment for. Cyborg, I'm lacking a key trait. So I guess either Beast Boy or Tim. What would you have to do to paint yourself green? I don't know. I don't want to commit to anything because, you never know what will happen in this field. If I was when I get to 1 million subscribers, I'll paint myself green. Someone will be like, remember that? In 10 years when it happens. And I'll be like, no, why would I remember that I said that? And then I'll have to paint myself green. So, I don't know. I truly don't know what I could say that would be safe. But I object to the notion that I am, the only difference between me and Beast Boy is that I am not green. Which seems to be everyone's take. That I'm basically already there. Wonder Man was such a good show. I love that it focused on character stuff. Me too. You could cosplay as one of the villains, Mumbo or Mad Mod. Mad Mod would be very easy. I need a Union Jack shirt, my usual red hair, and glasses, and I'm golden. Doing Mumbo would be hilarious. I'd have to be blue, but it's just a blue magician. And let's see if anyone recognizes me. How much money for the Starfire cosplay? If anyone Venmos me $2 million in the next 47 minutes, I will cosplay Starfire live on camera. Clock ticking. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock exactly. You have until 11:45 to Venmo me $2 million. I'm glad Wonder Man only really had one fight scene. Honestly, it'd been better if there wasn't any at all. Facts. I think episode 5 of Wonder Man is bad. It's what keeps me from being oh, this is the perfect show. I think that episode sucks. The fight with the vague Russian villain, the fight in the alley, chasing the kid, the villain with a gun to the kid's head, and none of the main characters seem to care. I think it's terrible. But every other episode's great. You would have cosplayed as Mad Mod so much if you knew about him earlier. For sure. Oh, it's 10 p.m. here. Well, then you have until 10:45 p.m. Time zones are still... We all understand them. Where are you that it's 10 p.m. though? Are you in Asia? Does Europe go that far ahead? 12 hours? Give us your bank info. No, it has to be through Venmo. I don't know what kind of fee Venmo takes out of $2 million, but you just gotta eat that. I love this episode because I love Esteban. Which one's Esteban? Is Esteban the real name of Gizmo? What are your thoughts on Batman not being there for Robin during Slade? I think it's kind of crazy Batman's not in this show at all. Like, I get, like, the behind the scenes reason why, but, like, they're setting him up so much. Asia, Saudi Arabia. Okay, well, hello to you. Thank you for tuning in from so far away. Are you going to watch DC Lantern Show? And what is your favorite Lantern core? Mine, blue. Mine's probably also blue. Blue or orange. I think the orange is a really neat concept. But I do love a blue lantern. What will you react to after Wolverine the X-Men? X-Men the anime. And after that, Wolverine the anime. Esteban is the candy dealer? There's a in the show, in the episode I just watched, there was a candy dealer? I don't remember that at all. Love the blue spectrum. Truth. Oh, we're talking about Wonder Man. Now I'm back on. I was thinking Teen Titans. I was like, the guy in the leather jacket? Okay. Yes. The candy dealer from Wonder Man. I thought that was stupid too. I'm not going to lie. It was a fun part. It was just such a different show entirely. Are you going to react to the 90s X-Men? Probably not. It's long as fuck. It would take me like a year to react to, and I don't think there's an audience for it out there. People forget that only like 7 of those episodes are good. X-Men Anime Extra has really cool moments. I have never seen it. It's one of the few X-Men media I have never seen at all, so I'm very intrigued to watch it and learn how the hell they're doing the X-Men. If you had to babysit one of the Titans, which would you pick? Raven. She's very low maintenance, it seems. I assume that this took place immediately after Dick Quick working with Batman, like he's trying to avoid Bruce. Sure, but like, it's still really weird to me that he's not involved. I wanted to follow the candy dealers next. Why? They're just making candy. Episode 5 just felt like we need an MCU episode here. Exactly. It felt like what I thought the whole show was going to be. I was very shocked with how like grounded and chilled the show was. And then episode 5 I was like, yeah, this is what I expected when they said Wonder Man's a show about an actor in the MCU. This kind of nonsense. How is a possessed child always on the brink of bringing an archdemon to a world low maintenance? Well, because, like, yeah, that's what she is conceptually, but, like, if you watch the show, all she wants to do is meditate and read a book. Her main trait so far, in terms of, like, rowdiness, is telling everyone else that they're being annoying by being rowdy. And, yeah. Like, if I had to babysit one of these kids, easy. She'd be in her room, reading. I'd be downstairs watching TV, and she'd probably get mad at me for being too loud. Hot take, Daredevil's highly overrated. It's good, but it's not all that. Also, you could do a Matt Murdock pretty good. I think I could do a Daredevil cosplay really well, personally. I kind of did at the Wonder Man premiere. But, the show, I don't think is overrated. I do think season 2 is not great, but season 1 and season 3 are truly phenomenal. I'm in the boat. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I think season 3 is the best season by far. Also, just for reference, in case no one said it, Titans Tower takes place in Jump City, and it's implied to be in South California. I did not get the California angle, but that's interesting. Yeah, see, I would never babysit Beast Boy. I would never babysit Robin, and I would never really want to babysit Starfire. So it's really Cyborg or Raven, and Cyborg just seems like he'd have more annoying things he'd wanted to do. Raven is just going to read a book. Thoughts on the Born Again show? That one's bad. If that's what we were talking about. I gave up on that one 3 episodes in because I was so pissed. The writing is terrible. Not even the actual, like, characters or anything. I just couldn't get over the plot they were choosing to present. Raven is the correct answer because, yeah, she would just straight up read a book while you watch TV. Exactly. What X-Men would you babysit? Nightcrawler, but he seems like he'd be rowdy. The X-Men are harder because they are adults. So I have to like think of what a kid version of them would be like. And all of them are sort of menaces in their own way. There's no like chill and studious. I guess Prodigy, he'd be a very easy one to babysit if we want to get technical. I don't even know. Because like Nightcrawler's a menace as a child, surely. Kitty Pryde would be a menace. Wolverine, never. Storm, never. Cyclops, maybe, but he seems very angsty. Jean, never. Iceman, no. Beast, no. Angel, he's boring, so there's that. Yeah, I don't know what would young Angel be up to. Probably not much. It might be the bird. Points for being boring, finally. Oh, shit. I think Jean would be fine to babysit as long as she's not playing Frisbee with her friend. Is a crazy cut and hilarious. Gambit? No. Babysitting Gambit would be insane. That boy grew up in the Thieves Guild, in Fagin's mob. I don't need... I love him, but I don't need to be watching over him. Being the authority figure in Gambit's life is not a good spot to be. Angel's a spoiled brat, though. Yeah, but I'm a babysitter. What do I give a shit? He could be an iPad kid for a day. Some of the younger ones are, like, easier. Like, Beak wouldn't be a problem. A lot of the young ones. Danny Moonstar, very upright person. I'm sure she'd be fine. Cannonball, very respectful. Rain, now I'm in New Mutant territory, but Wolfsbane is probably the closest to Raven's, like, I'm just going to sit and read. Forget-Me-Not would be the worst pick, because I wouldn't know I was babysitting, so I would leave. How about the Gray Kid? Which one's the Gray Kid? Graymalkin? Is Graymalkin even gray, or am I thinking that just because of the first syllable of his name? Wasn't there a comic where a psychic regresses Wolverine's mind and he was very mild-mannered? I don't know, but that's funny. He did grow up as, like, he wasn't Victorian. It's, like, 1880. But, like, he grew up as, like, a very posh little gentleman in Canada. This was fun. Gotta go. Well, thank you for stopping by, Jay. Danny would be fine unless her powers are acting up and I have to confront my worst fears. That does suck. Yeah, you hate to do that. The Great Kids, the French ones. Oh, yeah, I don't know their names. They're fun, though. I liked them in the Bishop War College. They seem like they're, like, sociopaths, though. Like, they don't, like, understand people. Was, like, half of at least that book. And so I feel like I wouldn't want to be involved there either. Why did you say you could do a good Daredevil when the comments said Matt doesn't flip, Mike Murdock flips? Is that my own joke? I didn't know Canadians could be posh. It's weird, because, like, in the book, he looks like he's a Victorian child in England, but it just has to be, like, 1880 Canada. And so I'm like, why are you dressed like this? Why are you talking like this? But, like, yeah. What is a gay X-Men relationship that will inevitably be confirmed as a real relationship? Rain and Danny have the most chance because they were in love in the movie. If the movie had been more popular, I think they would be an established couple right now. Danny Moonstar and Ileana Rasputin, I think, are the two most likely to be casually confirmed as at least bi because they will forget that they're not. But, like, the fact that those two are, at least right now, canonically straight women is insanity. In terms of relationships, Kitty and Ileana, now that Kitty is canonically bisexual, could happen. It'd be a little weird, but it could. Juggernaut and Black Tom's never going to happen. They're never going to confirm Juggernaut's gay. Charles Xavier Magneto, same issue. They're too popular. They're never going to confirm them gay. I'm trying to think of other, like, tangential characters that would be easy to confirm. If you could get one power and still have to be living your life, what would it be? Teleportation. Easy. I have grown to approach media as everyone is pan until they are not. It's a good way to do it. See, the X-Men are all so energetic and intense already. Imagine they're amplified by them being kids, and I would not want to have authority there. Exactly. I don't know how I feel about the idea of Juggernaut being gay. Well, Juggernaut is gay. Like, Juggernaut's, like, super gay in the comics. It's kind of like a Mystique and Destiny thing, just with men, where they couldn't say it. But, like, the plots, they only work if he's gay. Him and Black Tom are in love. Juggernaut throws himself into the sea to be with Black Tom. He's literally most of the time committing crimes to pay for Black Tom's surgeries because Black Tom has a mysterious medical issue. He's very much, they're a couple. And he helps raise Black Tom's niece, Siren. Like, they are so clearly together in a very real way. And at least two of the people who have written him the longest have explicitly said they wrote him to be a gay man. It's just because he's become so popular as like the I'm the Juggernaut bitch from fan culture and the movies that they can never really do it. In the books, it's never even that disclosed. Like, you have to accept going in that the most important person in this man's life is this random other man. He's not his brother. It's not even like a found family thing. They're just partners. They're partners, and they have nothing in common, but they're partners, and they mean the world to each other, and they die for one another over and over again. How many times are there X-Men gay stories that couldn't be said until recently? This feels way too common. A lot, because the X-Men are meant to represent the privileged, I guess. I forget the words. But there's a lot. Also, Chris Claremont was just like very involved in that scene. And so a lot of his characters are queer-coded. Xavier and Magneto, it's also like genuinely just a better way to get tension. Like, Xavier and Magneto being ex-lovers is inherently far more interesting than just like rivals who admire each other. Like, that is a genius-ass idea. And it's where all of like Charles being an interesting character comes from his emotions with Magneto. Without that, if you like read it straight, pun intended, he's far less interesting of a character. And I think a lot of people who don't find Charles to be that interesting is because you're reading it like that. But Charles Magneto, Destiny Mystique, again, Destiny Mystique is like canon. They show a pic like them raising Rogue together in the 80s. And then it is canon now. Rain and Danny from New Mutants, Juggernaut and Black Tom, Storm and Yukio. I'm trying to think of other ones that were like so clear but never able to be said. Oh, Kitty and Karma. There's a whole comic where Karma is a canonical lesbian, and Kitty almost moves in with her, and the next time we see her, see Karma, she's telling Danny about somebody. I don't think they ever like say it was Kitty, but how she almost moved in with a girl, and then the girl realized that she wasn't gay, basically, and then left. And like Karma's little kids that she takes care of refer to her as Aunt Kitty and everything. Like, that was clearly what happened there. Which is sad because now Kitty is bi, so she's got some answering to do. But yeah. Oh, Logan and Kurt, yeah. That one, to be fair, is not like as like adamant, but it is like that one's very two best friends who you could read gay. But yes, is also a very popular one. Is anyone in the X-Men English/British? Psylocke is the most popular, probably. She's now even Captain Britain. Beyond that, surely there's Excalibur, which is an entirely British X-Men book. I've not read it, so I can't tell you for sure. But surely others. P. Wisdom, he's not an X-Man, but he's a mutant. He's British. I think Excalibur, the girl, the woman, is British as well. Do do do. Juggernaut being part of Teresa's life makes it even worse that they won't just go and break the prison. Like, Kane, go get your child. Don't get me started on stupid ass Greymalkin prison and how they like need to let it exist. The current books are bad. I'm sorry. I was very excited for Uncanny X-Men. Gail Simone, you're letting me down. I thought Gambit was in Excalibur. Gambit's in the new Excalibur, the one from Krakoa. They reused all the names. I was reading the Fox Gambit story you did a video on. I honestly think Fox is meant to be 18, which is still bad, but less bad. Yeah, it's never... When I went back to reread it for my What the Fuck video, I was like, they don't say how old Fox is. And there are full-ass adults on some of these teams. It is just weird that she's his student. And it's definitely coded like, what do you call it? Like, hot for teacher kind of thing. But technically, they don't ever say that Fox is a child. Rogue number 1 seems promising. We'll see. Why don't we talk about Brian Michael Bendis' X-Men run? Is it bad? It's not the most loved, to my knowledge, but also we talk about it a good bit. That's where like the 05 X-Men not come from. They come from the original books, but like the young versions being popular are all because of Brian Michael Bendis. Oh, guy with the surname Essex is surely British. Yes, Mr. Sinister is British. That is true. Are we ever going to get more of the skit shorts from you? Yes, I want to get back to making skits. I'm going to be real with you. One thing is that I'm super busy with editing now. All I do every day is edit, but I'm close to that not being the case anymore. Pray for me. So that's one problem. And the second problem is that they don't pay. I don't make money on YouTube shorts or Instagram reels. I only make money on TikTok for short form content, and TikTok will pay top dollar for reaction videos, but will not, because of like behind the scenes monetization categories issues, pay for skits. So I make like, my skit could get 500,000 views and I make $10. My reaction video makes 20,000 views and I get like $15. So it's a money game. Exodus is French. Yes. I think Wolverine Mystique is fire, and I'd love to see it explored more. I don't think that, but I'm happy that you get to see what you like. I think it's kind of an abomination. Thoughts on Kitty Pryde and Peter Parker as a couple? A fun joke about her only dating people named Peter. Beyond that, kind of ridiculous. I think Kitty's a little hard because she's one of the few Marvel characters that was allowed to grow up. So she's introduced at 13, and that makes her being in relationships with more established characters very strange to me. Like, she dates Bobby at one point too, and I think that's bizarre. Because Bobby was in college when she was 13. And I know that's not how comics work, and I can't think like that, but that's my issue. And the same thing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man's not aged in 40 years. However, Kitty has. And so it's weird to me that they dated. I've never heard Sinister with an accent, but I have with Professor X and Magneto and Juggernaut from the movies. Are they English in the movies? In the movies, they might be English. Magneto's German, always. I don't think McKellen did a German accent, but Magneto is very definitively German. Xavier is from New York. Patrick Stewart is just British, and they let him keep his British accent. Juggernaut, I don't remember if he had a British accent or not in the movies, but it would make sense if they made Charles Xavier British, that Juggernaut's also British. But yes, in the comic, Xavier and Juggernaut are American. They're both New Yorkers, and Magneto is German. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, it's weird. I see your new vids again on TikTok. I'm sorry. Also, someone asked why they don't pay more for skits, and it's because skits don't technically count. At least my skits about comic characters don't technically count as film content, and TikTok pays more for film content. Reactions do count as film content, so I get higher RPM on those. It's silly, but it's the truth. Have you watched Big Hero 6? Yes, and I love Baymax. What's your favorite random character X-Men ship? Angel, Storm, Gambit, Polaris, Scarlet Witch, Nightcrawler, Storm, Wolverine. Of those, Storm, Wolverine, which is kind of crazy. Or Scarlet Witch Nightcrawler. They're cute in Wolverine and the X-Men, I won't lie. In general, I don't know. I don't know if I can think of a really weird pairing off the top of my head. I can tell you that Angel and Storm is atrocious. And Gambit and Polaris is random. Can you explain what Callisto's power is? It's super senses. It doesn't come up a lot, but like she's like Wolverine. She's got super senses. What is your favorite comic or comic run? The Claremont run of X-Men, my friends. Otherwise, some of my other favorites: Kraven's Last Hunt and Spider-Man, Batman Long Halloween. If I see Storm Wolverine, I'm a fight. Storm Wolverine to me is like the most, the lead woman has to date the lead man in all of X-Men. And every time it comes up, that's all I can see. Because they happen to continue to be the leads. Like X-Men, the animated series, I was like, really? These two of all people get together? The comics, I'm always like, really? These two? When they first kissed in the comic, I was like, what the hell is happening? Did I miss something? But I guess they were fucking the whole Outback era. Who knew? Yeah. It's also so weird. That first kiss, it's like in a comedy book, so it's like hard to judge. But that first kiss is like Wolverine goes up to her and he's like, wah, and he kisses her like that. And then she like comes up and she's like this. And she goes, oh, these men. And I'm like, that's not any Storm I've ever fucking read. What is happening? But yeah, I have opinions on Storm, as you all know. They make me unpopular. The Baymax series references the X-Men. If I remember right, the school is named after Sunfire. What? That's so fun. Do you think Wonder Man is going to be part of the Miss Marvel's team with Kate? No. No, I don't. I don't think we're ever seeing Wonder Man again, guys. And I think sometimes that's okay. We don't always need to see everyone again. I was actually thinking watching Wonder Man, like Ben Kingsley signed up to play a fake out character. Someone who was not the big bad of the movie 15 years ago. Do you think he's kind of shocked that he's still around? He's reprising Trevor Slattery 15 years later. What are your opinions on Storm? Say them. I like Storm, and I wish she got treated better in all of everything. What are your opinions on Storm? Never heard you talk about her. Watch any of my reaction videos, guys. I rant about Storm all the time. Did you ever play X-Men Destiny? I did not. I don't think we're seeing Ms. Marvel's team again either. That is also a solid possibility. If they wanted to do Young Avengers, they missed their boat like 10 years ago. Not 10. That's crazy. Like 5 years ago. Young Avengers should have come out in 2021. Easy. I like to think he's happy he gets to play Trevor as a real character. I hope. Like, I'm sure he's happy. He's Ben Kingsley. I mean, he doesn't need the money. But I'm just like, wow. What a bonkers thing to come back for. I'd honestly rather have Wonder Man never appear again than have him get shoved into a stupid plot. This is my take. Like, someone was talking about, like, him in Doomsday, or like, him with Scarlet Witch. No. Yes, in the comics, whatever. But, like, the version we have presented now, I cannot see hanging out with the Avengers. I think that's insanity. A certain guy in your Discord server got me on board with Storm times T'Challa. Well, that's great for you. I'm still against it. I think Young Avengers is overrated. I like the book fine. It's a very cute book. I don't know. I don't know if I need a movie. Ever thought of doing a podcast where we just talk about nerd stuff? I think enough of those exist. And I have so little time. I also don't have a co-host. I'm like all alone in my life. And I feel like you need a good co-host to just yap. What's the next reaction series, or is it a surprise? I'm curious and join late. Next, after X-Men, Wolverine the X-Men, which we're over halfway done with. There's only going to be 12 of those episodes. But after Wolverine the X-Men will be X-Men the anime. After Teen Titans, I have no idea. We are nowhere close to done with Teen Titans. There will be 26 of those episodes. I was afraid Eric would become a villain. I'm shocked he didn't. I guess he's just like spiritually a villain because he's like antagonistic towards Simon. But that one I was like pretty confident would happen. I don't think he's gonna like get dressed in the costume or replace his hand with a scythe. But like, if we see Wonder Man again, surely Eric is the Grim Reaper. Maybe like a dream sequence? I don't know. Something. Nikhil, you're against T'Charo. Trees, I'll take that personally. T'Charo, here's my thing. I understand the cultural desire and the valid take of wanting to see two black characters be romantic with one another. And I think it's crazy that's not a more common thing in Marvel. However, the way that specific arc goes, I think turns Storm largely into T'Challa's wife. And I don't think it's a coincidence. It happens at the same time they're trying to sideline the X-Men characters, that she's getting sidelined in this particular way. It was a bold attempt to try and keep her relevant, but her being relevant as T'Challa's wife after decades of leaving the X-Men is just not for me. And I don't care enough, I'm sorry, about T'Challa to make it worth it. If you're looking for a non-superhero show to react to, you should do Tangled. I've thought about Tangled, but I have not done it for reasons that will become clearer soon. Scythe? Yeah, in the comics, Simon's brother is the villain, the Grim Reaper, and his arm is a giant scythe that he cuts people down with. I don't love the Young Avengers and Champions being combined into one team for the MCU. I enjoy characters on both teams are just different. I think they are truly the same. This is like a hot take, I understand, but like I think it makes a lot of sense in the limited real estate of film. Like when you can't have comics coming out every week for a bunch of different teams like you can with comic books, I think in the real estate of film, it makes total sense to merge your two young superhero teams. It's like in the same way that a Teen Titans adaptation borrows from Young Justice and vice versa. That's fair. That's just so fine. The Champions are really just the young kids of a different generation. And like that's why it's Kamala and Miles and those people, as opposed to the Young Avengers, who are the more older legacy characters. I think it's absolutely fine in a space where no one's allowed to age and nothing happens to merge those two characters together. Did you see Catboy made Gambit in Marvel Rivals? Did they actually do that? That's crazy. You're awesome, by the way. Thank you. My take is all kid hero teams end up just being the same thing. I agree. Now, also, I am a hypocrite because if they did New Mutants and they threw in a bunch of Gen X kids, I'd probably get upset. But, like, that's because I'm a hypocrite. When exactly will the reason be revealed? I don't know. They did. He's Rogue's accessory. That's really cute. Oh, I love Batman Caped Crusader, but I just watched it. He mentioned Young Justice once. He's going to review Young Justice. Maybe. Shout out to the OG Champions run from the 80s that had Hercules, Ghost Rider, Angel, Iceman, and Black Widow. Right, well, that's the other thing. The Champions is a team that went bankrupt in-universe. So it's not like a very essential. Please. One day I'll buy a new camera that has a nice mic that's attached to it, and we won't have to live this life on top of these books anymore. I think you would love Young Justice. It's really good. I've seen the first few episodes, and I did like it. Have you seen Batman Beyond? I've seen the first season, and I did like it. Yeah, Accessory Gambit is the outfit Mad Jim Jaspers put him in. That's cute as hell. I really don't want them to make Storm to just be T'Challa's wife again, but I would love for them to be married again and just be doing their own thing and just occasionally hang out as a couple. That I'd be more fine with. What is your reaction to Gambit in 97? I thought it was some of the best Gambit content we'd ever gotten. I'm not someone who gets mad that my favorite character dies, especially if they get a good death. Like for me, not to sound pretentious, it's all about the story more than anything. And like, I had a lot of people who thought I'd hate this show because they killed Gambit. I got a lot of people in my comments that are like, I can never forgive Gambit X-97 for how dirty they did Gambit. I think it's some of the best Gambit content ever. And a cool death scene is something the character honestly needed. He doesn't have one in the books. Marvel's only ever had two teams and will only ever have two teams, Avengers and X-Men. Well, that's Fantastic Four erasure in a really drastic way. They are Marvel's first family for a reason. Beyond that, yes, I mean, the Defenders exist. The Champions. Young Avengers. What are other notable teams? The Inhumans aren't really a team, but they're like a group that exists. I think Gambit might come back in Death in 97 Season 2, but probably not. Gambit's 100% coming back as Death in X-Men 97 Season 2. I'm confused by people who treat that as not even just unlikely, but like a thing that we don't know. We know he will. Apocalypse picks up a card that has Gambit on it and says like something about Death. Yes, he's coming back as Death. That's just understanding the show. If for any reason he doesn't come back as Death, it's not even because I'm wrong, honestly. It's just because they would have thrown the plot out that Baudemire wrote when they fired him. Because that season absolutely tells us that he's coming back as Death at the end. It's not the trailer. It's X-Men 97 Season 1. It's how they end the show. Something about Death, Apocalypse, facts. I think a lot of the people didn't watch the end credits. Is it an end credit scene? Huh, that could be it. Okay, that's fair. I thought it was just the end of the show. Who's coming back as Death? Gambit. Sorry if this has been asked. It's almost definitely has been. But are you going to do Young Justice at some point? Possibly after Teen Titans. We will have to see. Nikhil, last time you asked me what the lost episode was of Teen Titans, it's a short included in Trouble in Tokyo DVD. I will try and find it. My bad. I just always second guess myself when I'm yapping. Never second guess yourself. Here's the thing. I've never seen you be wrong. So just assume that you're always right. Thanks for getting me hooked on X-Men. I love it so much. You're welcome. I hate how we turned into a Horseman in the comics, so it's on board for a revival storyline indeed. That's the thing. It's a terrible, terrible story in the comics. And I have faith in X-Men 97 to do it better. How does your Slinky not get tangled? I don't know. I'm actually really surprised by its ability to not be tangled yet. Usually I can only have a Slinky for a day or two, but like this Slinky's lasted a while. Does X-Men do a lot of past time travel? Most X-Men stories I can remember are future time travel stories. They don't go into their past a lot because that just makes things complicated because we saw that. They do every now and then. Like there's the bringing the 05 into the present. Tons of people have been tied up in their underwear in the X-Men, the animated series. Not sure why people made such a big deal of it for Magneto in 97. Because he's a man. What are the other Patreon exclusives are you thinking of doing? Power Pack TV pilot, please. I didn't know that existed. Maybe. That's cute. I have a big plan for Patreon. Basically, I plan to kind of overhaul my Patreon soon. I'm going to add a new tier. I'm going to change some stuff. Because I want to put a lot more focus into the Patreon than I do now. Right now, my Patreon's kind of an afterthought. It's just like where I post a day early or like a week early now. But I want to get to a place where it's its own genuine platform. At some point in the Superhero Squad show, I think the issue with Superhero Squad, and I did watch it, and I do like it, but I think the issue is similar to Teen Titans Go, is it's too kiddie. I don't know how much content I could get out of it, and if it'd be worth the like year it takes me to do. Because there's a lot of episodes of Superhero Squad. List. You guys can't see this, so I'm just going to narrate it. List of Superhero Squad shows. What? Episodes is what I wanted. There are 52 Superhero Squad episodes, so it would take me 6 months to react to. What books do you have your mic stacked on? That's a fun question. The audio is going to get a little worse, but these are the Penguin Classics. They're the same as the fancy ones over there. There's just more that I have that are in paperback. This is Fantastic Four. This is Captain America. This is the Avengers. And this is X-Men. Now, my beef with these is that Penguin took a very non-comic book reader approach to putting them in classics. Like, they acknowledged that, yes, the X-Men should be considered an American classic, and I appreciate that. But they were like, okay, let's put the first 10 comics ever into it. That's not the classic part. And they did that for all of them. It's just like a random selection from the very beginning are the American classics. And I think it genuinely only works for Fantastic Four. I'm assuming this takes us to Galactus. If it doesn't, then it's also stupid. Yeah. From their first experiments in general hybridity to the remarkable fusion of cosmic quantity that is the Galactus trilogy. That makes sense. The Galactus trilogy is an American classic. But I think they kind of whiffed on all the other ones. Could you be with someone who had no interest in the X-Men, likes superheroes, but heavily dislikes X-Men? Heavily dislikes? Probably not. My partner had no interest in the X-Men when I met them. They now have seen all of the X-Men content in the world because I've shown it to them. Except the movies. We still have to do that one. It's funny to me because we met in high school, and I still think of them as very not nerdy. They didn't know, like they had not even seen the MCU or anything when we met, and I've shown it all to them now, and their like reputation among their friends is the nerdy one who like knows all about X-Men. And it always cracks me up because in my head they don't know anything about X-Men. But to be fair, they have watched all of the shows. Favorite post-Claremont X-Men lineup? Probably the 90s Gold and Blue teams. That's like right after Claremont, but they are very fun teams. Penguin Classics Count of Monte Cristo is so fat that my copy is falling apart. Love them, though. I mean, that's just how long Count of Monte Cristo is. I read that as a teen, and it was something. Thoughts on Demon Days? Fantastic. Amazing. Beautiful work. No 4 million yet? 5 minutes left. I haven't checked, but I haven't gotten an alert that I don't have to work again. So that would be nice. It's kind of crazy the X-Men had better adaptation TV than movies. It's not. I feel like that's common. Like Teen Titans, right? Like I think almost every superhero media works better as a TV show because TV is more equivalent to how comics are structured. And being animated also helps a lot. Live action stories that are self-contained 2 hours is a hard thing to do with superhero media. I think almost every character probably has a better adaptation in TV. I really like the current Uncanny lineup, I'm not going to lie. I'm so happy for you. It's very just the TV show. Like, it's very X-Men 97. Needed a book. It's fine. Gambit's there. That's something. I wish he was doing better things. Thought on Kurt's run as Spider-Man. Too short and not enough Spider-Maning. He fought Vulture, which was fun. But I really just wanted to see him do Spider-Man stuff. What's the best live-action superhero movie? I'm partial to Infinity War. For DC, I love the Batman. Logan is probably my favorite of all of the superhero movies. I gotta rewatch it. I haven't seen it in years, but I love Logan. Are you ever going to cover Under the Red Hood? Like, react to it? I don't know. Maybe. Is that like a thing people want? I guess it's kind of related to Teen Titans. I feel like superhero movies are still so embarrassed to be goofy and superhero-y. I don't think they are. I feel like that's a pendulum because they were originally. Like in the 2000s, that was a big thing. They were like, we don't want to be campy. We want to be serious. It's grounded. Iron Man, people forget, was like, that was the whole pitch of Iron Man. It was like, oh, what if the superheroes were real? And that's the whole first act of Marvel. Over time, they got stupider and sillier. And now I feel like we are seeing the pendulum go back. Like, I think Wonder Man is something that would have come out in the 2000s. But like Infinity War is full cosmic BS. There was a brief era where they weren't afraid to give. Guardians 3 also is like a lot of comic-iness. Guardians, the holiday special, is really silly. D-list character you first give a special presentation to. The Starjammers. I would love to see the Starjammers on screen. It's hard to do because they made the Guardians the Starjammers, but I would love it. I think the first Blade movie files under the radar a lot of discussions of best superhero movie. I've seen the first Blade movie, and I did not care for it. Like, it's fine. It is very silly. I'm not a huge... The early 2000s, like pre-Chris Nolan Batman trilogy, or pre-Batman Begins, rather, superhero movies are a whole other beast. And like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I find fine. The OG X-Men trilogy, I find fine. It's funny that like both Spider-Man 2 and X2 are like the good ones of their trilogy, and I think they're equally as campy as the rest of the trilogy. I think it's kind of ridiculous that was where we were like, this one's serious. But yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Quick, someone send 2 million. You're running out of shot. You're running out of chances. It's 11:44. How long have I been live? Oh, I've been live for over an hour. Okay, at 11:45, when your time officially runs out, I will. You didn't like Blade? It's fine. It just feels the same as like all of those other early 2000s movies. Like there was nothing like truly engaging to me in Blade. Like it's just a campy little vampire movie, and it's cute, it's fun. I would not put it in the conversation of best superhero films. I think they got very good. Do 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 do. Hi, how's it going? Pretty good. I am going to end this live right now, but thank you for asking how it's going. And I have to tell you, it's going well. I hope to see you all later. I hope you all enjoy the new content I'm putting out next week. It's going to be very exciting. If you're in the Patreon, you already know what it is because I had to announce that it wasn't